But anyway, I want to make a plea here before we go any further. I want, and Brian, you can help me out. What do the kids call them? If you email me, but you don't want your real name to be read on the air, send it from your burner account. Is that the thing the kids say?
No, they don't say that. They say send $50.
No. I want people. No, here's the thing. I want, and they can send it to. Well, if they send it to Corny, what's the drive-through email? Because I'll never see them.
CornyDriveThru@gmail.com.
All right, CornyDriveThru@gmail.com. And then you'll see them and you'll send them to me. And you don't have to reveal your real name. I want working industry professionals.
What is happening? What are you talking about?
No, I'm putting out a plea, a public plea here. Email that Corny Drive-Thru, whatever the fuck that Brian just said.
At gmail.com.
There you go. And it's CORNY. There's no E in corny. Right? You didn't put an E in there, did you?
Of course not. There's
not
no
supposed
E in
to
corny.
be.
No.
Well, I didn't know whether you were on the same page or not. If you're a professional wrestler right now in this goddamn business, I want to make up an assumed email address or express VPN or whatever you need to do.
Or be a man.
Well, if you want to have your name read and attached to your goddamn opinion, then you can say that too, and we'll, by God, tell them how you feel. But I want somebody to explain to me how these people are thinking about the forearm exchange. Because I talked to recently an industry professional who is noted for training talents. And I'm not going to mention his name because he still trains talents. And I don't want to get any heat on him.
Is it Johnny Rods?
No, Johnny and I haven't spoken in several months. But I said, when the kids come to you or the young people come to you or whatever, these aspiring wrestlers or existing indie wrestlers that are trying to get better, how do they explain why they're doing the fake forearm exchange? Case in point, the other night in AEW when Hangnail Page and Ishii did 85 forearms back and forth to each other to start the fucking match. They all look fake. If they connect, it's one of those deals where it looks like shit and it hurts. They don't sell them. It's repetitive. What everybody does. So you're violating tons of cardinal rules. It looks like phony shit in a wrestling match, so that's bullshit there. It's what everybody else is doing, so it doesn't stand out. It's so fucking tired. Why? What are they seeing when they do this and they watch their match back on video and they're not embarrassed and they're not cringing and they're not, oh my God, I did that in front of people? And he can't explain it. He said, because they did it in Japan. But when they did it in Japan, they were really pounding the fuck out of each other. And besides, it was in Japan, which is a whole different goddamn culture. And so I would like, if any industry insiders out there want to email us and tell us, what is it that when they come back through the curtain and they've got a smile on their face because they have either forearmed each other 87 times and didn't sell it and it all looked phony, or they chopped each other 114 times and all they did was blister each other's chest and stood there and let each other. What are they fucking seeing in their minds? Or if you're one of these people that does this shit, tell us what you're seeing in your fucking mind. And we'll read the best submissions on the air that can try to explain this. What, mass hysteria? What is it, Brian?
The forearms, I think, are the biggest culprit. But it's been the chops. It's been European uppercuts back and forth. It's guys standing there and doing these things back and forth, and they're doing them pretty quickly, and in doing so, barely touching the person they're doing them to. And it's obvious to the viewer. And I think it does come from Japan. And like you said, when you go watch Kenta Kobashi and Misawa and Kawada, they were really kicking the shit out of each other in those matches. They're feeling it today. The ones who are alive are feeling it today. So I'm not saying you should go in there and lay that stuff in. I'm saying just don't do any of that. Because as a viewer, I hate it. That Adam Page Ishii match was awful. And there are fans who thought it was great. In what way was it great? Like, you get away with that thing like once. Like, Kenta Kobashi versus Samoa Joe was a unique moment and time. You know what I mean? Like, because Kobashi did one thing. He chopped him. That's the only thing he did the whole match, really. But it worked. It worked there because it was a special attraction making his debut in the States. But I hate it. And Moxley's been a big offender. Claudio, Ishii, Adam Page now. Everyone does it no matter what size you are. They just stand there and trade forearms.
And here, while I'm on that plea, and then we'll move on. If you are a professional wrestler by trade, and you can also explain to me why everybody is trying to block everything. Why every time somebody gets on top of somebody and they're trying to punch them, that person on the ground is covering up, is throwing their hands up in the way, is fucking, and so they're windmilling around the person's head and upper torso without landing on anything. Looking like a goddamn girl fight.
Is that a case you think of people thinking that Vince McMahon was right for some reason? Because that's a Vince thing, isn't it?
No, Vince's thing was in the corner. If you back a guy in a corner and he grabs the top rope, as you see people do, and holds it with both hands while he's being choked or he's being punched, then Vince would have a fucking epileptic fit. Says, God damn it! Look how phony that is, because the guy's still holding the rope and waiting to be shot off or whatever. He wanted you to try to grab the hands around the throat. He wanted you to try to fucking pull him off if it was a choke, or if the guy hits you in the gut, you sell your gut by holding it, and then he hits you in the fucking face. And oh my gosh, you sell that, he kicks you in the gut again. So he's opening you up, and you're opening yourself up to him, but you're still reacting to it. But no, this is, well, and the same thing with every time if you can't throw something in a working way so a guy that knows what he's doing can take it without trying to block it or getting potatoed, then don't do that move. But they're always putting their hands up on kicks and things. We were always instructed back in the days before electricity, and I got a lot of this from Bobby Eaton, because he hated when people covered up for his shit, because there was so little margin for error that he would potato you. If you threw your hand up, he'd punch your hand into your face, right? Or if you tried to cover up or flinch on an elbow drop or a leg off the top, it would drive your own arm into your own face under his leg because he had you, right? So when you open up and a guy can throw shit at you, at your head, he's got your hair in his left hand and he's punching you in the face because he's sitting on your arms, then if he potatoes you, it's his fault because you're open up for him. But if you're flinching and covering up and everything, then your shit looks like shit, and so does his. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So tell me, why the fuck is everybody just goddamn curling up in a ball these days, so they're just windmilling around the general area of a motherfucker you're trying to be kicking a shit out of while you're at it? Tell me the reasoning behind that.
And if you want to do MMA, go do MMA.
What the fuck has MMA got to do with this?
I think a lot of these guys see MMA and think they have to incorporate that kind of stuff into pro wrestling.
Well, goddamn. There's a time when you should be fighting for your life, yes, but there's a time when you need to let the fucking heel get some heat on you. So that is part of the art. You're not just standing there daring a guy to punch you in the face and over again. You are actively trying and failing to cover yourself up while a fucking guy's kicking a shit out of you. That's the fucking point. You need to look like you're trying to avoid it while opening yourself up at the same fucking time instead of just whatever. Anyway, don't get me started. You know why you shouldn't get me started, Brian?
Because you'll never finish?
No, well, that's part of the reason. It gives me the sour belches. It gives me an upset stomach. Granny's got the sour belches. It gives me an upset stomach. I start burping and percolating. And it's all because, it gets in my gut, sticks in my craw, as Mama Cornette used to say. And when you got bad gut health, well, fuck, that's just screwing your whole body up. Do you know that good gut health can not only help with digestion and regularity, but it makes your skin look better? You'll have that glow. People will think you're pregnant. Because of good gut health.
Well, again, not necessarily, but let's focus on the inside, the gut health.
Your gut has 38 trillion different bacteria or bacteria that live in and or on you, actually all over your body. 38 trillion bacteria, but most of them are in your gut. And apparently many of these are essential to whole body health, and that's why our friends over at Seed have come out with the DS-01 Daily Symbiotic that benefits your gut, your skin, and your heart health in just 2 capsules a day. I mean, this is not stuff, it's not like they've poured coffee grounds into something that you got to take 6 spoonfuls of. You just pop these pills. Most of our audience is familiar with popping pills. Capsules.
No, let's not say that. Let's not. I don't even know why you would say such a thing. That's not true.
Many of them are on medication to regulate something or other that they've got going on.
Who's to say what is many? Let's not say many. Let's say there are certainly, because of the size of the audience, some people out there who, may have the need for help.
Maybe taking medicine on a regular basis. Oh, let's say 90% or whatever
Let's
the case.
Not say that. That's ridiculous. No.
But I'll tell you what, you don't know how many trillion of those bacteria you got in your gut are turning on you right now. And that's why Seed's patented capsule and capsule design means that all 24 strains of the bacteria that is encapsulated in these capsules survive the journey down your throat and through all these things and into your gut, where it can grow and prosper, sort of like your own septic tank. And your gut is your septic tank. It gets rid of all of the effluvia out into the atmosphere, so they say, out the drain pipe, you might say, and keeps it clean and organized in there. So you don't even know how your septic tank works, do you?
I don't think anyone's saying any of these things that you say that people are saying. So let's talk about what they're saying about Seed.
Let's talk about what they're saying. Customer testimonials. 87% of members feel more in control of their whole body health when they start DS-01. 3 out of 4 members say it's the most important supplement they take. 81% of members feel less sluggish after meals. You know how when you finish stuffing yourself like a competitive eater on the 4th of July, and you're laying there and you go, Maud, can you just bring me one more piece of cake? Well, you won't feel like that anymore. And 3 out of 4 members reported an improvement in regularity. After taking DS-01, 1 out of 4 members reported needing new underwear on a regular basis.
There's no underwear report. That's not true.
92% of members have recommended DS-01 to a friend or family member. The other 8% have suddenly, for whatever reason, become orphans.
No, but what is that? How does that work? How does that even tie into this?
It's just a statistic that they gave me. But I'll tell you what you can do right now, folks. You can support your gut this summer. That's what you can do. Prop it up, baby. It needs all the help it can get. With the way you're going to eat this summer, you need something in there trying to rot away the bad stuff and propagate the good stuff. And that's what Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic is going to be. 2 little capsules and your stomach won't mutiny on you. That's another thing. Summertime is the most prevalent season for projectile diarrhea. So just think about that.
That's another statistic that is not here, that has just come out of Jim Cornette's ass. I don't know where that's come from.
Well, no. That came straight from the Department of Fecal Philiacs in Zurich, Switzerland.
The projectile diarrhea?
Yes, it's common. That happens in the summer. People get a little bit sweatier. But again, you can support your gut by going to Seed, S-E-E-D, seed.com/JCE, and use this code 25JCE, and you're going to get 25% off of your first month's Seed DSO1, 25% off with the code 25JCE at seed.com/JCE. Yeah, that's just to weed out all of the fucking effluvia there. They want you to get down to the meat of the matter with all these codes and
not the meat of the matter, the seed of the matter.
The seed of the matter. Yes, you got to write this down. Seed.com/JCE, code 25JCE. 59 left, 62 right, 12 left,
Seed.
and it opens.
Seed.
Seed.com.